People's Republic of China, respect partner and event guests. Good morning and best wishes to all of us. Allow me, Charisa Azahro, to be here as special staff under the President of the United States, representing the United States Department of Commerce, to express my deepest appreciation for this valuable opportunity. We are honored to be able to have a direct dialogue with leading business people from China and to experience various potential mutually beneficial cooperation in the fields of trade and investment. The economic relationship between the United States and China is one of the most significant in the world, and we believe that cooperation is an important foundation for shared prosperity. The first, in the meeting, I will convey the important points that we will discuss include number 1, the reason for the tariffs, number 2, the principle with the tariff, number 3, opportunities and benefits for partners who work together, and solutions to build trust in the long term. I understand that United States tariff policy in recent years has raised concerns, especially among the Chinese business community. I'm here not only to explain our position, but also to listen and find solutions together. The tariff policy imposed by the United States is not intended to break trade relations, but rather to rebalance and dynamics that we consider to be less than equal in bilateral trade practices. The main reason for the United States to impose these tariffs: the first is protecting intellectual property and technology. The United States places great importance on protecting intellectual property as the foundation of innovation and economic growth. Many U.S. businesses and research have invested heavily in the development of cutting-edge technologies, including patents, copyright, and trademarks. However, there is a deep concern that in some cases this intellectual property does not receive adequate protection abroad, including practices that are considered to be forced technology transfer or licensing abuse. The second reason is creating fairness for U.S. business actors. The next goal of implementing tariff is to create a level playing field for business competition. In practices, business actors in the United States often face conditions that are considered unfair, such as industrial subsidies in trading partner countries or dumping practices that cause product prices in the U.S. market to be far below fair prices. Then the third reason is to encourage structural trade reform. Another strategic reason underlying this tariff policy is the desire to encourage structural reforms in international trade relations. The U.S. government hopes that tariff policy can be a trigger for more constructive negotiation, which will ultimately result in a more transparent, open, and balanced trading system. We have some data related to the trade tariffs between the United States and its trading partners, especially China. Here is an explanation of the graphic image. We have some data related to the trade tariffs between the United States and its trading partners, especially China. Here is an explanation of the graphic image. This is an infographic detailing the increases in U.S. tariff on various imported products from China, based on policies implemented from 2018 to 2026. Some important points in the image. Item effects include electric vehicles, semiconductors, solar cells, lithium batteries, and medical devices. Many products have seen drastic tariff increases. For example, electric vehicle from 25% to 100% in 2024. Semiconductor from 25% to 50% in 2021. And solar cells up to 50% in 2024. This figure shows a comparison of reciprocal tariffs between various countries and the United States. The last column shows the average tariff imposed by these countries on U.S. goods. The right column shows the tariff imposed by the U.S. on these countries after discounts as preferential tariffs. For example, China has 67% on tariff on U.S. goods, while the U.S. has a 34% tariff on China's goods before the new adjustment. Vietnam 90% versus US 46%, and Indonesia 64% versus US 32%. Both figures support the narrative that the US tariff increases are part of a strategy to renegotiate trade fairness, protect domestic industries, and encourage structural reforms in trading partners. We have strong principles on this. In the United States view, tariffs not as an indicator for trade policy, but as a strategic tool used to achieve fair, more balanced, and more sustainable trading conditions for all parties. We believe the tariff, when applied wisely and measurably, can serve as a signal of structural imbalance that require our collective attention. The goal is not to hinder the growth of trading partners, but rather to create a space for productive dialogues, so that together we can review the rules of the game and agree on a new, more inclusive and mutually beneficial framework. In a spirit of mutually beneficial cooperation, we believe that compliance with the tariff provisions imposed by the United States is not only a legal obligation, but also a strategic step that can open up high-value opportunities from China's business. Here are the main benefits that can be achieved. The first benefit, access to the world's largest consumer market. The United States is home to one of the largest and most dynamic consumer markets in the world. By complying with applicable regulation, including tariff provisions, Chinese companies can maintain and even expand their access to this market. The second benefit obtained is long-term partnership with U.S. companies. By demonstrating seriousness in complying with tariff provisions and trade standards, Chinese businesses can build sustainable partnerships that are oriented toward mutual growth in the long term. The third, long-term trade stability. Without a stable foundation for cross-border operations, this compliance reduces legal risk, simplifies licensing, and speeds up the distribution process, resulting in a more efficient and reliable supply chain. The next benefit is stronger global reputation. Compliance with U.S. tariff provisions demonstrates a commitment to good governance principles and will ultimately strengthen the image of Chinese companies on the global stage. In the spirit of finding common ground and building long-term trust, we would like to propose several corroborative steps that can be implemented immediately together. The goal is to create a stable, open, and mutually beneficial trading environment. Technical and transparent dialogue. We propose the establishment of a technical, open, and regular dialogue space between trade officials, industry players, and experts from both countries. Through this forum, we can directly discuss obstacles in the field, adjust policies, and explain the reason behind each regulation clearly. Cooperation on intellectual property rights protection. This is important so that companies in both countries feel safe in innovating and working together. This will create a fair business climate and encourage the growth in innovation in both countries. Incentive scheme for compliant companies. As a form of application for companies that comply with tariff provision and other trade regulations, We encourage the implementation of an intensive scam. For example, companies that consistently comply can be given confidence in the export-import process, special tariff reduction, or priority access to technology and logistic corporation programs. US-China Entrepreneur Forum. We also propose the establishment of an official forum that brings together entrepreneurs from both countries on a regular basis. This forum can be a place to share experience, expand network, and create cross-border investment opportunities. I want to emphasize that tariffs were never meant to be a wall of separation, but a bridge to better understanding. The United States remains committed to fair, transparent, and mutually beneficial trade. We appreciate the contribution of Chinese entrepreneurs to our economic relationship, and we look forward to even closer cooperation in the future. That's probably all I can say on this occasion. Thank you for your attention and partnership.